Good morning, sir. My name is Ying Xuan. I'd like to share a moral issue related to work-life balance and exploitation in the workplace. This story is about an employee, individual A, and his supervisor, supervisor B. Individual A's supervisor often sends work messages after office hours or during weekends and expects immediate responses. Although he understands that the company faces tight deadlines, he feels pressure and mentally exhausted because his personal time is not respected. He worries that not replying quickly might upset his supervisor or harm their relationship. He believes this situation is morally wrong as it affects employees' well-being and creates an unhealthy work environment. On the other hand, Supervisor B believes that as a leader, he has the responsibility to make sure all tasks are completed on time. Because of tight deadlines and pressure from upper management, he sometimes needs to message his employees after office hours to check on progress or solve urgent problems. He admits that this might disturb his employees' rest time, but thinks it is sometimes necessary to ensure work efficiencies and meet company goals. Individual A's behavior is linked to friendship. This is because he tries to maintain a good relationship with his supervisor and avoids conflict. This reflects his desire for cooperation and understanding. His avoidance of conflict shows that he prioritizes harmony even when it affects his comfort. Next, individual A's behavior is linked to self-sacrifice. He is willing to give up his personal time and rest to respond to his supervisor's messages and complete tasks. His actions show genuine kindness and loyalty, but he goes beyond a reasonable limit. This causes mental exhaustion and stress. Supervisor B's behavior is linked to injustice because he ignores his employees' right to rest by sending messages after hours. Although his goal is to ensure productivity, his actions are unfair and inconsiderate. Other than that, Supervisor B's behavior is linked to excessive ambition, also known as philotimia, because he becomes too focused on meeting targets and ignores his team's well-being. His strong drive for achievement, while positive in intention, turns into an excess that harms the team's well-being. In this case, we can understand both individuals' behavior through Aristotle's golden mean. For individual A, his effort to maintain a positive relationship with his supervisor reflects Aristotle's virtue of friendship, which lies between being too confrontational and being overly submissive. He avoids conflict, responds immediately, and tries to keep harmony in the workplace. This action shows respect and teamwork, which are central to moral friendships. Secondly, his willingness to work beyond office hours and respond immediately to requests highlight his benevolence, the desire to help and care for others. But when this behavior continues without moderation, it turns into self-sacrifice, which is the excess of benevolence. Aristotle believed a virtuous person cares about others without self-harm, but individual A's good intention become unbalanced when it causes stress and exhaustion. Thus, individual A is a kind and responsible person whose good intentions sometimes lead to self-sacrifice. Secondly, when Supervisor B's ambition becomes excessive, it turns into excess ambitious, philotimia, where the pursuit of achievement outweighs moral balance. Supervisor B's strong drive and constant pressure to meet goals show this excess. Aristotle believed ambition is good only when balanced with reason and fairness. True ambition aims for success that benefits not just yourself, but others too. Thus, Supervisor B is excessively ambitious, causing him to be an injustice supervisor. Supervisor B's habit of sending work messages after office hours shows his fall under the deficiency of Aristotle of golden mean, injustice. Aristotle defined justice as treating others fairly and respecting equality. While Supervisor B aims for productivity, he overlooked his employees' right to rest, creating an imbalance between efficiencies and fairness. Now we have come to the action step for individual A and Supervisor B. For individual A, should practice self-awareness by knowing when kindness becomes excessive and understanding personal limits. Aristotle believed virtue comes from active with reason and moderation, not from guilt or pressure. Next, inner confidence is needed to express boundary respectfully. When kindness is guided by wisdom rather than fear, a person can care for others without neglecting themselves, achieving true balance and emotional well-being. Next, for Supervisor B, to move from injustice to justice, he should develop more reasoning by thinking carefully before acting and ensuring each decision is fair and morally right. At the same time, it is important to cultivate empathy and fairness by understanding others' perspective and treating them with dignity. Aristotle defined justice as giving each person what they deserve, so practicing fairness and empathy help strengthen moral character and achieve true justice. Finally, to move from excessive ambition to balanced ambition, he should reflect on motivation by asking whether their drive for success comes from noble intention or personal pride. Aristotle believed ambition becomes virtuous when guided by reason and moderation. Moreover, by practicing practical wisdom as known as phronesis, he can ensure goals remain purposeful and ethical. When ambition is directed by reflection and wisdom, it becomes disciplined and aligned with their integrity. That's all from me. Thank you.